SpaceX's growth in launch numbers is nothing short of revolutionary, going from one launch in 2006 to 100 in 2024 thus far. How do you see this relentless space shaping the future of space exploration and the global space economy? Does this level of dominance by a private company indicate a shift in power dynamics traditionally held by governments and space programs? And how should India respond to this new era of private sector driven space advancements? Yeah, SpaceX, I've spoken about this many times. It is what it's doing is revolutionary. They have done more launches this year than India has ever done in its entire career. ISRO has ISRO did its first launch in 1979, and since 1979 until today, ISRO has done, I think, 97 or 98 launches of rockets. And SpaceX has done more launches, more rocket launches this year than ISRO has done throughout. So yeah, that's where we are. So SpaceX has taken the world by storm. Now, does it mean that private companies are gonna be more powerful than governments now? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There is no change, no shift in power dynamics. Traditionally, governments own space programs, but now these private companies who have space programs, and that's why private companies are more powerful than governments. No. See, Elon Musk is the sole owner of SpaceX, as far as I can remember. I think he is, right? SpaceX is not publicly traded. So Elon Musk owns SpaceX, at least the majority of SpaceX. And he's a US citizen. Now, Spa- if SpaceX were doing things that are not useful to the US government, the US government can shut things down. If SpaceX decides that we will do work that will benefit all humanity, not just the government of the US, not just the citizens of the US, but humans all over the planet, we will help equally everybody. You think the US government will allow that? No. SpaceX is able to succeed because the US government wants it to succeed, because the US government directly or indirectly owns everything. Look at OpenAI. OpenAI, right? ChatGPT. They're the guys. They're the ones who. That's the company that has created ChatGPT. There's a retired U.S. government guy, general or whatever, who's on board the company. Why do you think he's on board the company? Because see what the U.S. does is they allow a couple of players in a sector. In AI, there'll be like 2-3 players, big players. No more than that will be allowed. Only the government sanctioned companies, the companies favored by the US government will be allowed, and they will do exactly what the government tells them. And other companies, if they're trying to launch a new startup in AI, they should just forget about it, because the field is now filled up. Similarly, with space launches, SpaceX does everything now. NASA, I don't know why it even exists. Yeah, they still have these programs, this scientific programs and all that. They continue with that, but uh, so SpaceX essentially, whether you realize it or not, whether it is official, formal, legal or not, it's owned by the US. So these are simply extensions of the US policy. And SpaceX has Starlink, thousands of satellites in Earth orbit. You think it's only for for providing internet, space internet? I'm sure these satellites all have surveillance capabilities of various kinds. And these satellites probably give the US the ability to conduct 24 by 7 surveillance of the entire globe. I'm speculating, I don't have any evidence, but satellites can be multi-purpose, right? And with the advances in technology, you don't need a lot of space on a satellite or a lot of weight on the satellite to have extra functionality. So SpaceX is powerful, yeah, but it's an extension of the US government. So I don't see these power dynamics changing at all. This only makes the US government more powerful. It doesn't take power away from them, it augments their power. That's where we are. And you could say that Elon Musk is kind of a member, a visible member of that entity that everyone speaks about, the deep state.